Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Today I'm going to explain to you the topic of gerunds and infinitives based on your close-up textbook pages 171 and 172. Okay, so first we look at 11.2. What are gerunds? Okay, gerunds are verbs that can be formed with the ing ending. Okay, so we use gerunds as nouns, number one. Okay, for example, swimming. Okay, swimming is a gerund. Swimming is my favorite hobby. Number two, Ben likes cycling. So cycling is a gerund that serves as a noun. Okay, number two, we use gerunds after prepositions. Okay, kata sendi. For example, Jenny's only 5, but she's very good at reading. So reading is a gerund. Okay, number three, we use gerund after the verb go when we talk about activities. For example, my class are going canoeing at the weekend. Okay, so we have the word go over here. So canoeing is the gerund. I go jogging. So jogging is also a gerund. Okay, anything, any verb ending with ing. Okay. And then number four, we use gerund after certain verbs and phrases like admit, finish, love, avoid, forgive, miss, be used to, hate, practice, can't help, have difficulty, prefer, can't stand, imagine, prevent, deny, involve, regret, and etc. Okay, like just like in the list. Okay, for example, I have finished writing my essay. Some students are having difficulty doing their maths exercises. It's no good only studying for tests. They suggested going to the cinema. Okay, so the gerunds have been highlighted in orange. Okay, next we look at infinitive. So what is an infinitive? Okay, 11.3. Okay, an infinitive is a base form of the verb, sort of kata dasar of kata kerja lah. Okay, and an infinitive can be used as a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. Okay, so there's a table here. Okay, in this table we can see how infinitives are used with present or perfect tense in an active or passive sentence. Okay. So to here in these two columns, okay, the word to here in the bracket is optional. Okay, uh, it can be used or not depending on the sentence. Okay, for example, number one, the teacher threatened to expel the badly behaved student. So this one we use the word to. Okay, this one is an active sentence. Okay, next, photos can be edited on a computer. This one is a passive sentence without the word to. Okay, number three, you should have tried harder to pass your exams. This one is an active sentence, okay, with the word to. And then the last one, he should have been awarded a prize. This one is an active sentence without to. Okay, next we look at full infinitives 11.4. So infinitives ni can be divided into two. Okay, we have full infinitives and another one is bare infinitive. Okay, so what is infinitive? Okay, full infinitive is the verb with the word to in front. Kata kerja tu depan dia ada to. Okay, so we form full infinitives with to and the verb. Okay, you put to and then you put the verb. Okay, we use full infinitive for these reasons. Okay, number one, to explain purpose, menyatakan tujuan. For example, they went to the library to look up. Okay, you don't say to looking up, you say to look up information for the project. Okay, so you can see that the word to is here and then we have verb, the base form of the verb. Okay, to look. You don't say to looks, to looking, no. Okay, to look up. Number two, after adjectives such as afraid, scared, happy, glad, sad, etc. For example, Jenny was so happy to pass her exams. She was sad to see her dying cat. Okay, number three, after the words too and enough, for example, it was too late to change his mind. His grades weren't good enough for him to go. Okay, so you can see that the full infinitives have been highlighted in orange. Number four, we use Full infinitives after certain verbs, okay, ada kata-kata kerja tertentu or phrases tertentu like afford, fail, prepare, agree, forget, pretend, allow, hope, promise, appear, invite, refuse, etc. Just like in the list. Okay, for example, I pretended, okay, to sleep when she came. I hope, okay, to see you tomorrow. I choose to forgive my bully. The teacher offered to give the weak student some extra help with maths. Okay. And then 11.5, we have bare infinitives. Okay, bare infinitives are verbs without to. Kalau full infinitive tu ada to kat depan. Okay, kalau bare infinitive dia without to. Macam dia kata sort of kata dasar lah. Okay. We use bare infinitives after number one, modal verbs. Okay, kata kerja model. For example, you should ask your teacher. You don't say you should asking. You should ask with the S. No, you say you put the root form of the verb here. You should ask. Okay, bare infinitive. So ask here is bare infinitive, highlighted in orange. Number two, you must leave now. Okay, you don't say you must leaving, you must leaves. You say you must leave. Okay, without to in front. Okay, next, number two. We use bare infinitives after had better when you want to give advice. Kalau nak bagi nasihat. Okay, you had better be careful. You don't say you had better to be careful. Okay, you had better be careful. Okay, this verb without to. When you go mountain climbing. Okay, number three, we use bare infinitives after would rather to talk about preference. Okay, kecenderungan. We often use the word then. Okay, I would rather stay. You don't say I would rather to stay. I would rather stay at home than go out tonight. Okay, so that is about bare infinitive. Okay, next we want to discuss when should we use a gerund and when should we use an infinitive. Okay, so some verbs can be followed by a gerund. Okay, gerund, remember gerund is the one with the ing, or a full infinitive. Full infinitive is the one with the word to in front. Okay, with no change in meaning. Okay, maksudnya kalau kita guna dua-dua ni pun sama je maksud dia. Some common verbs are begin, bother, continue, hate, like, love, and start. Okay, we look at some of these examples. Okay, the students began writing. The students began to write the test at 9 o'clock. Okay, these two sentences mean the same. Okay, John failed the test because he didn't bother revising or he didn't bother to revise. Mr. Ken continued teaching. Mr. Ken continued to teach until he was 70 years old. Same meaning. Okay, young children love learning. Young children love to learn new things. Don't start running or don't start to run until you hear the whistle. So these sentences these sentences, writing or to write, mean the same thing. Okay, they do not change in meaning. However, okay, there are other verbs, okay, that can be followed by a gerund or a full infinitive. Okay, dia boleh followed by dua-dua, gerund pun boleh, full infinitive pun boleh. But the meaning changes, tapi maksud dia akan berubah. Okay, some common ones are regret, okay, menyesal, forget, go on, meneruskan, remember, stop and try. Okay, let's look at these examples. Okay, number one, we look at the verb regret, menyesali. Okay, if you use it with the gerund, okay, for example, you say, I regret telling you about the loss. Saya menyesal bagi tahu awak tentang kehilangan tu. Okay, so this one, compared to this one, I regret to tell you that I've lost my maths book. Okay, so this one, with the one with the gerund, with the ing, it means that I told you about it and now I wish I hadn't. Dah bagi tahu menyesal lah pula, bagi tahu. Okay. And then infinitive, I regret to tell you that I've lost my maths book. It means that I'm sorry that I have to give you this news. Okay, saya minta maaf saya terpaksa bagi tahu ni. Okay, so in um in context, okay, the meaning of these two sentences is different. Okay, next, number two, forget. Okay, Paul forgot meeting Belinda and walked straight past her this morning. Okay, this sentence means, okay, the one with the ing ni, he didn't remember that he had met Belinda. Okay, dia dah jumpa dah Belinda ni. Okay, tapi dia tak ingat. And he didn't recognize her when he saw her this morning. Then bila dia terserempak dengan Belinda tu, dia tak ingat Belinda tu yang dia dah pernah jumpa. Okay, next, infinitive. Okay, Paul forgot to meet Belinda this morning. Okay, this sentence pula maksudnya, Paul didn't remember he had to attend a meeting with Belinda this morning. Okay, ayat ni pula maksudnya, dia terlupa yang dia sepatutnya jumpa Belinda tu pagi ni. Okay, next, go on. Okay, Mr. Jones went on talking about photography for hours. Went on talking. Terus menerus bercakap, bercakap, bercakap. He continued to talk about the same thing. Okay, however, if you use the word went on or go on with infinitive, for example, you say Mr. Jones went on to talk about photography, it means that he had been talking about a different subject. Okay, sebelum ni dia cakap pasal benda lain, let's say dancing ke, and then started talking about a new subject, photography. Okay, lepas cakap tentang subjek nombor satu, then dia bertukar ke subjek kedua, which is photography. Okay, the next one is remember. Okay, my dad remembers learning Latin at school. Okay, he learned Latin, maksudnya dia pernah belajar Latin tu. And sekarang baru tiba-tiba dia teringat. And now he remembers learning it. Okay, compared to this one, my dad remembered to learn Latin at school. Okay, ayah saya teringat untuk belajar. Okay, ni ayah saya ingat pernah belajar. This one is ayah saya teringat untuk belajar. He remembers first, dia teringat dulu, and then he learn the language. Okay, betul dia belajar lah that particular language tu. Okay, next one is stop. I stopped reading comics. Okay, it means that if you put a gerund after the word stop, it means that I don't read comics anymore. Dah insaf dah, tak nak dah baca komik. I want to read something else. Okay, I want to read novels, for example. However, if you put an infinitive after the word stop, for example, you say, I stopped to read comics. It means that you stop doing something else. Okay, saya berhenti untuk membaca comics. Okay, I stopped doing something so that I could start reading comics. Okay, you can see the difference. Okay, the last one, try. Okay, I tried making notes while reading. Okay, so that I could remember things easier for the test. Okay, that is the meaning. Okay, compared to this one, I tried to make notes while reading. Okay, this one means I tried to make notes, but it was useless as I couldn't understand the text. Okay, so this one is more to uh, an impossible idea to do. Okay, this one is more to solution. Okay, so I tried making and I tried to make. Okay, these two sentences are different. So that's all. I really hope that you can understand the topic. Okay, please ask if you have questions.